Welcome, Boo Believers, to another day in horror and another episode where I forgot to turn my volume down on my phone. There we go. All right. Another episode of the Daily Boos. I'm your host, Ronin James. 20 years as a stuntman, now a handful of years as a director and producer and content creator, etc., etc. And here I am in Deadsville Studios, going live like I do every day at 5 o'clock to read the latest horror headlines with you. So, not a lot today in the news. I had to break in a new cup. The Misfits cup was just not holding enough coffee. That's, you know, when you're a coffee junkie, you might need a bigger cup. The Misfits cup was nice, but now I had to go with the Ghostbusters big cup. And on the back we got the who you gonna call slogan. So yeah, big cup today. Extra strong. Whew, waking me up and keeping me going. All right. Kevin Goodale and TJ Lachlan checking in. What's up, fellas? Thanks for tuning in early. And, yeah, maybe I should tag Kara because she tends to miss her alarm. I will tag her in the chat. We'll see if Kara shows up today. But welcome, folks. As you see, I watched a movie last night, and I'm going to review it. Horror in the High Desert. This one is on Screambox right now, and it's both this one and the sequel, Horror in the High Desert 2 Minerva, are both came to Screambox at the same time. So last night I watched the first one, and maybe tonight or another night this week, I will watch the second one. I will watch the sequel. So we will see. In a little bit, I will get to my review, and you guys can chime in the comments if you've watched it. I know some of you have given up on Screambox. I'm still not giving up on Screambox. I know that the app is a bit buggy for me too on my Samsung TV. It works great on my Roku. I was watching it last night on my Roku before I went to bed. And then I watched like the last 15 minutes this morning. So, yeah, we'll come back to that. In the meantime, though, let's check out the latest horror news. Michael McDonald checking in. What's up, Mike? Thanks for tuning in. I will get to my review shortly, but we're going to kick off with some other news first here. What was I on here for? I don't even remember. Maybe I... All right. What happened here? I just had a link just disappear. I think it was Joe Blow. I always have Joe Blow problems. I got Joe Blow problems over here, guys. And I know there was another fucking link. Yes, there it is. We'll jump to this one first. Let's get some Godzilla news out of the way. Oh, and by the way, B-Cam is back to working. How you doing? From B-Cam, and you can see my Godzillas here, a couple of them at least. As we get to Godzilla and you see a little more behind the scenes action, my monitor where I kind of keep track of everything going on, and yeah, my switcher, all that fun stuff. You can see in B-Cam, because it works today. It didn't work. It worked the day before, then it didn't work yesterday, and now today it works. Because I changed the HDMI cable today. I put a new HDMI cable, and I was like, let's just try that basic fix. Let's check the cables first, because it was working fine before. So yeah, swapped out a brand new HDMI cable in there, and it's got to run through an adapter into this little B-Cam that I'm running. It's a little 4K Zoom Q2N. But yeah, that's a nice little picture. It's just not... I tried to match it kind of with my A cam. It might be a little bit darker, I feel like. Probably not as sharp as Yeah, it's definitely darker. Definitely not as sharp as A-Cam's camera resolution there. So, all right, without further ado, let's get to some horror news. And this one's on Joe Blow from Cody Hammond. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire earns a PG-13 rating for creature violence. Director Adam Wingard's Godzilla vs. Kong follow-up, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, has earned a PG rating for creature violence. I love when they just rewrite. Just rewrite the title into subtitle. Come on, man, it's the same thing. Come up with something else. It's for you're a writer. Come up with a different subtitle, damn it. Sal Sarmania checking in. What's up, Sal? Thanks for tuning in, brother. Just getting to our first bit of news here, and we're looking at PG-13 for Godzilla x Kong. The fifth film in the legendary MonsterVerse. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire was once set to reach theaters and IMAX on March 15th. Then it slid back to April 12th, before being recently moved back up to March 29th. Hopefully they'll stick with that date. It seems pretty certain that we'll be seeing the movie very soon regardless, especially since it just happens to have received its rating from the Motion Picture Association Ratings Board. FilmRatings.com reports that Godzilla x Kong has officially been rated PG-13 for creature violence and action. Exactly what we've been expecting from it. Yeah, pretty much what we expected. Yeah, PG-13. If you're under 13, it might scare some small children. A lot of the giant monster battles, roaring, loud noises, all that kind of stuff, but definitely 13 and up for sure. Justin Seelig checking in on his birthday. Happy birthday, Boo Believer Justin Seelig. Thank you, dude, so much for checking in on your birthday. Hope you have a great birthday today, brother. Appreciate you checking in with us. And yeah, happy birthday, Justin. We'll see you soon, hopefully at Bar 13. All right, back to this story here. Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard is back at the helm for this one, working from a screenplay written by Simon Barrett that follows up the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong with an all-new cinematic adventure pitting the almighty Kong and fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their very existence and our own. Except it's pretty much a giveaway what the threat is. It's a big giant red ape with a scar. We can call him Scar, Big Red Ape. I don't know what the name is, but we've all seen it. We all know it's another fucking ape. All right. So, the epic new film will delve further into histories of these titans, their origins, and the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, while uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tie them to humankind forever. The story sees the legendary titans Godzilla and Kong team up to face a world-ending threat so terrifying that neither could survive alone. We've previously heard that Terry Rossio and Jeremy Slater were also involved in the scripting process. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire stars returning Godzilla vs. Kong stars Rebecca Hall and Brian Tyree Henry, who reprised the roles of monarch, linguist, and Kong expert Dr. Eileen Andrews and Apex Cybernetics technician turned cult podcaster Bernie Hayes, as well as Kaylee Hoddle, who made her screen acting debut in the previous Godzilla Kong movie. Joining the mix are Fala Chen from Shang-Chi, Alex Ferns from Wrath of Man, Rachel House, and Wingard's the guest star Dan Stevens. Stevens describes his character Trapper as a specialist in these creatures. If you've got a sick titan, Trapper is your guy. So what is he, the doctor? He's a titan doctor. Are you glad to hear that Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire has gotten a PG-13 rating for creature violence? Share your thoughts. What do you guys think? And here's a Total Film exclusive still here. And a screw. So there you have it. We've watched the trailer before. We've seen the trailer for this. Anna Ogier checking in. Hi, Anna. Justin says, thanks, man. That was for the birthday wishes. Anna says, this be interesting. TJ says, I love Kong. I can't wait. Anna says, I'd watch it. Zach Wilkins also checking in. What's up, Zach? Hope you're on the mend, brother, and feeling better. Thanks for tuning in. just got done talking about Godzilla x Kong getting a PG-13 rating. So, yeah, Godzilla and Kong are like the heroes in this one, man. And do you like your Titans as heroes? Do you like them better as villains? We've seen a little bit of both recently. Obviously, Godzilla is a bad guy in -1. And destroying Tokyo and wreaking havoc and killing an already, kicking an already down nation in a post-World War II Japan there. Would you rather see him like doing that, like destroying shit, being like menacing? Or do you like him as a hero? He's like a protector and friend to humans, and him and Kong team up, and it's like a buddy cop, but monsters. And they're going to team up to fight the big bad, which is the giant red scar ape. And I'm sure he's got like a whole army of red apes with him. Chime in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you prefer him as a hero, villain, a little bit of both? Anna says a little bit of both, hero and villain. I agree. I do enjoy both sides of the spectrum there. I think like they're just so big. They're definitely a menace to human society, but their intentions are good. So yeah, I think it kind of plays both ways. Even when Godzilla first shows up in the early movies, like we get in -1, he's kind of like misunderstood. He's attacked by the humans. I mean, yeah, he's just trying to feed. He's a monster, so he's an animal. He's got to eat. He's tearing people up on Oda Island, and much like the old Godzilla, it was terror, it was horror. But over the years, he's kind of evolved into more of a heroic. He's all that stands between humanity and the bad kaiju kind of deal, right? I mean, that's what I've gotten more vibes of him recently. Even in the Japanese stuff, even in the later Japanese movies like Final Wars, he's literally the only thing that stands between. Like, that's the whole plot of the movie in the Final Wars, which I highly recommend if you haven't seen Final Wars. Let's jump to Cam 2. Pow, 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 pow. Yes. Steph Infection checking in says, hello, everyone. Hello. Anna says, villain first, but then hero, and checks in with Steph. And, yeah, I think... we were talking about Godzilla Final Wars. He's literally all that stands between Earth being subjugated by an alien race using... They've taken control of every other monster kaiju on the planet except Godzilla. He's the only one. And Mothra. I think Mothra's okay too in that. I got to go back and watch it again. Although I think she's in larva state for most of it. She's not really there to help him like she does in King of Monsters and some of the other things we've seen. But yeah, awesome movie. Plus you got Kane Kasugi, son of 80s Hollywood ninja Sho Kasugi, playing one of the Earth Defense Force, who have like G-cell mutations, so they have superpowers. It was very Matrix-y, wire work, big guns and flashy ships and cool stuff. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Godzilla Final Wars, check that one out. Definitely a hero. Godzilla's definitely a hero in Godzilla Final Wars. I won't. Everyone else is the villain though. So, awesome stuff there. All right. Well, PG-13 for Godzilla x Kong. So you can bring your kids to see that one, obviously. Get the new generation hooked early. I had my son watching Godzilla to the point where he was beating up his Barneys with his Godzilla toys. He had, his grandmother bought him a stuffed Barney, and he used to beat it up with his stuffed Godzilla. Be like, take that Barney, I'm the king of monsters. So, raise him right. All right. Let's get back to some news, shall we? And we'll do this one real quick. The top 10 most anticipated horror films of 2024, because we love lists. We love lists. It feels good to stretch. We love lists here at Deadsville Daily Boos, and usually we go to Bloody Disgusting for the lists, but Joe Blow is one of our favorite sources, and they've got the top 10 most anticipated horror films of 2024. So Joe Blow's own Mike Holtz shares a list of his picks for the top 10, including Terrifier 3 and Maxine. And here we go. We happen to be lucky enough to live in a time where horror is unquestionably crushing at the box office and otherwise. People are lining up in droves not only to see men in tights throwing down to save the universe in superhero flicks. Oh, we got a crash. There it is. Wow, we haven't had one of those in a few episodes, Boo Believers. Bear with me while it reboots and we get going again. So I watched, I guess I'll start talking about my review. Horror in the High Desert last night on Screambox. And I had talked about this here on on Daily Boos a couple times because they talked about it coming to Screambox soon, and actually both movies came at the same time to Screambox. So I had heard of them just by doing Daily Boos and because they come up on my sites. So they were on my radar. I usually don't do the whole found footage thing, but this one, because I read about it and because I read that part 2 was really fucking crazy, I was interested. I was like, you know what? Let me. This has my interest. This has my curiosity. So let me look at this. So I went and I watched the trailer on Screambox, and last night I got home and I was still kind of awake. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put something on, and so I pop over to Screambox because it works real good on Roku at home on my TV, and there they were, the two horror in the High Desert movies, new on Screambox, and I was like, okay, let's pop it on. So yeah, started watching it, and this one plays out. I think Steph Infection would like this one a lot. It was actually really good. I was surprised how. Because usually documentary style stuff doesn't grab my attention, but and this is based on a true story too, I will tell you that. And I could bring this still up here and go picture in picture for you guys. Yeah, this is based on a true story, though it's not the true story. It's based on an actual hiker who was lost and never found, and they just kind of took that story and ran with it and went a different direction with it, kind of embellished what they, their imagination led them to believe could have happened, or would have made for a good movie, and yeah, Steph Infection. I watched it when I went home. Yes, Steph Infection asked, did I watch it after she left? Yes, after I left too. I went back home. So here's the, I got it back up. We got the trailer here. I should bring it up. So we can watch the trailer. And so this is, and I want to read this to you guys real quick. I'm going to read because I screen capped it earlier. So, Horror in the High Desert is a found footage style movie that blurs fact and fiction, drawing inspiration from the real life disappearance of Kenny Veach. Kenny Veach, an avid hiker, claimed to have found a strange cave in the Nevada desert shaped like an M, but couldn't enter due to intense vibrations. So, that is the true story. But it is very blurred because that is not what happens in this movie. But that's what kind of inspired this. So, yeah, and again, so this one, we're going to jump back here to it. We're going to watch we'll watch the teaser, the trailer real quick. Because it's very much not the kind of thing I sit down and watch. It's very documentary style oriented. And not my kind of thing at all. So here we go. Play. There we go. Oh, of course. Oh, wait. Bear with me, folks. Got to make sure that the sound is properly on. I've hit play 3 times now, but it hasn't played, luckily, because the sound wasn't on. All right, here we go.
This wasn't a normal search and rescue because, you know, Gary didn't tell anybody where he was going.
The clock was ticking. They very much needed to find Gary as soon as possible.
Hey guys, up here at the top of the mountain, as you can see, there's the great view.
I wouldn't say what Gary was doing was hiking. These were multiple day, like survival excursions.
Gary became so obsessed with survivalism. He would study it and find the most remote places, no cell service, no provisions of any kind other than what he took.
He's going on and on about this crazy story about Gary, and he's telling me that he thinks he knows where he is.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous day in the backwoods of Nevada.
What I saw changed everything.
It was the look on his face that really got to me.
He said that the longer he stood and looked at it, the more spooked that he got, the feeling of dread, the sixth sense that he needed to get out of there.
All right, there it is. Horror in the High Desert. That's the trailer, and yeah, kind of get a little chill watching it. Yeah. Stephen Fecker says, I'm shocked you watched this alone. This is exactly my kind of movie. LOL. Yes, so this thing plays out like a documentary, and with bits of found footage in there. And it was really good. I was really impressed. I turned it on, and I was just like going to play it in the background while I tried to fall asleep, but it caught my attention. And yeah, I where to begin? Let's jump to the. Let's get to the. I don't want to give anything away either. I don't want to spoil anything. But here we go. Horror in the High Desert is a 2021 American film written, produced, and directed by Dutch Marich in the pseudo-documentary format and featuring found footage elements about the mysterious disappearance of a hiker in the high desert region of Nevada. In the style of a documentary film, the first part focuses on the police missing person report of amateur hiker Gary Hinge. Toward the end of July 2017, Gary hiked to an unspecified area in the Great Basin Desert, Nevada. His starting point was the town of Ruth, and his target was presumably a cabin he had approached on a previous expedition. That's all I'm going to give you. So they give you the cabin there in the poster. I'm going to jump to IMDb here. Dutch Marich is the director of this thing, and Joshua David checking in. What's up, Josh? Thanks for tuning in. We are talking about my spoiler-free review of Horror in the High Desert. Watched last night on Screambox. So yeah, the cast of this thing was really good, man. There's not a whole lot of people, and the whole thing is done documentary style. So this is the kind of movie that was done on like no budget, but the writing is good enough and the acting is good enough that it kind of makes you sit while you're watching, like, is this real? Isn't this real? These people seem so real. They seem so real. And you can see Tonya Williams Ogden here plays Beverly Hinge. She's the sister of Gary. Gary is Eric Mensis. Gary is the one who goes missing, and most of the movie is carried by her recounting certain parts of the story, like her giving her backstory, talking about Gary, and then This girl, Susie Block, plays Gail Roberts. She's like a news journalist, I believe. David Morales plays a private investigator. A reporter plays Gary's roommate. And yeah, that's about all they had. There's one other person in the movie. Can't give it away. But yeah, it was really good. The acting was really good. It was very believable. They all did a great job. Maybe the weakest link was the roommate. You can kind of tell he was a bit of an actor, maybe. He's a very good-looking dude. But the rest of them just look like normal people, especially the sister, man. I was just like, man, she really looks like the type of everyday person that you see in a documentary. So hats off to the acting on this. Made it really, really good. Very interesting. It is very slow. It is a slow build. Brittany Fox checking in. What's up, Britt? Thanks for checking in today. I'm now into my spoiler-free review of Horror in the High Desert. And I dug it, man. And I usually don't dig stuff like this. Now, again, I will say, it is very slow at the beginning. It's a slow kind of burn. It builds up. You're getting bits and pieces of the story and figuring out all this along with the documentary film crew who's kind of along for the ride and piecing everything together through the characters' interviews and everything else. And then they start to cut in some footage of Gary actually out in the wilderness. And there's a whole thing with their social media influencers. He was doing a blog and yeah, there's like this, it's really well written. It's clever the way they put it together. It's for an independent movie, I guarantee you this did not cost that much, and they were able to do this. And this, I know it's gotten really good reviews. I'm pretty sure I should check on Rotten Tomatoes. But yes, let me go. Horror in the High Desert, Rotten Tomatoes, and let's see what they give it. Oh wow. It doesn't look like a lot of people have watched it yet. I'm a little surprised. 59%, fewer than 50 ratings though. So it doesn't look like many people have really even watched this one. Well, I'm going to read this one critic. There is one critic review, and he rated it fresh, and I'm going to read it. Horror in the High Desert is a very good example of doing things right by planning everything to the core and executing and editing with the only true intention to scare the wits out of those who find themselves trapped by the realism of this subgenre. And yeah, man, that nails it. That's a perfect review. They did the writing, setting everything up, because the really again, I don't want to give it away. It's very slow at the beginning, but the payoff is at the very end when they reveal some of the found footage stuff. When you start getting to see more of the footage of what happened, and they kind of piece everything together, and you kind of see what happened. The ending of it. Oh man, the ending is really good because it totally sets up this part 2, and the director knew he was going to do part 2. He must have planned this out, and he knew this one would be good enough that he could get money to get a part 2 done. Because Minerva, Horror in the High Desert 2, we'll watch the trailer for that after I finish the review here, looks like a big jump in production value. And yeah, we're going to see, it's still going to be in that same kind of found footage documentary style, I believe, because this whole thing has to do with like bloggers, social media influencers, like all that kind of stuff. Because now, like in part 2, what happens is that, and they set this up in part 1, this isn't really a spoiler, but the disappear, because we all know Gary dies, he disappeared, he's gone. And so, so we the disappearance of Gary triggers a whole bunch of other copycat social media influencers and people to go out now and try and find Gary or find, well, no, not find Gary, because to try and find what Gary found. Let's put it that way. And of course, we wouldn't have a part 2 if one of them didn't find it. So there is Horror in the High Desert Part 2, which was set up by this very simple, like 5-person cast, super cheaply done independent horror. And now this other one looks pretty good too. So we're going to look at that in a minute. But yeah, the one reviewer, he gave this high score. He said, what, 4.5 out of 5? 4 out of 5. Gave it 4 out of 5. So yeah, I mean, this is good filmmaking. You don't need a lot of money if you have a good script, a good concept, good execution, decent actors. You don't even have to be the best actors. People want to enjoy movies most of the time. So if you have passable actors, a lot of the time you'll do okay. But yeah, this one was pretty good. All right, so now I want to go and we're going to check out the trailer for part 2. Because this is Minerva, and this one was, yeah, this one was pretty fucking creepy. All right. Ready, Boo Believers? Here we go. Another trailer. This is Horror in the High Desert 2, Minerva.
On September 28th of 2018, another string of tragedies occurred in the high desert of northeastern Nevada.
Unit 6 to dispatch, go ahead.
I need another welfare check, please.
In the ambulance on the way out there, we were talking about how weird it would be to live out there.
And I had to ask myself, is this connected with Gary Hinge?
Well, didn't give us much. Did not give us much. Some of the comments on YouTube crack me up. All right, well, that didn't give us much, but what the hell is this? Oh, this can't be real. Okay, horror movie concept. All right. Didn't give us much, that Minerva trailer, did it, Boo Believers? But yeah, if you watch the first one on Screenbox and dig it, it definitely picks up. It's definitely part of the same lore. So picking up where it left off definitely has to do with the disappearance of Gary Hinge. And yeah, I mean, the guy's got the director here. Again, I got to bring his name back up. Dutch Marek, or Dutch Marek. Could be Marek. CH could have a K sound. I don't know. It'd be hard to tell with some of these names. But yeah, he's kind of got like a Hills Have Eyes vibe to it. Yeah, like that desert fucking trapped by the enormity of the desert kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? Like the enormity of the fucking like you're just there's nothing out there. The nothingness of the fucking desert. Yeah. So I will check out part 2. Hopefully it gives a little more than what we just saw there in the trailer. Very cool though. If you watch part 1 and part 2, make sure you comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you haven't watched them yet, you think you'll check it out? A little found footage action. I know Steph will want to watch this because it's like the documentary style stuff. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And we will jump back to some more Daily Boos stories here. Here's one that we can do pretty quickly. This one's on Fangoria, who I don't really go to very often for stories, but they tell us that we can bring Ghostface home with Ghostface the Game. Scream and Scream Again. This story on Fangoria by Sean O'Leary. And look at that awesome fucking box cover, I'm guessing, art. Very cool. Officially licensed to Ghostface the Game, and this is a board game. For all you board game fans out there who want to have game nights, you can have Ghostface the Game on game night now. Ghostface the Game is the latest in a series of board games from Anthony Massey, published under his Stop the Killer banner. Produced under license from Funworld, it should be noted that this is not a Scream game per se, rather it concerns a killer or killers wearing the iconic Ghostface mask. In fact, the game has 9 different versions of the Ghostface mask. Which ones come out to wreak havoc depends on your luck. Interesting. The action in Ghostface the Game has been transported far from Woodsboro to an ill-fated drive-in theater in Pennsylvania. Surely one of the spookiest states. I mean, it has Sylvania in its name. That's got to count for something. Yes, we are quite spooky here in Pennsylvania. Thank you very much. Maddie Meek checking in. What's up, Mads? Thank you for checking in. We'll see you and Steph later today. We will be filming an episode of Deadsville Horror Talk, our first of the year. We're going to review Destroy All Neighbors, now on Shudder. So stay tuned, Boo Believers. A new podcast episode is coming. In the meantime, I'm going to finish this story about Ghostface the board game. 1 to 4 players will vie for the chance to defeat Ghostface before he kills everyone at the big drive-in triple feature. The game board is made up of a serpentine track of interlocking spaces. The Ghostface killer begins at one end of the track as the players start at the other. On their turn, each player will roll the 3 dice. The first will determine how many spaces along a predetermined path the killer will move. The second die tells the player how many spaces they can move, but they're not restricted to follow the path like the killer. Okay? Players can move to any adjacent space, taking care to avoid landing in the killer's space. If they do, and they've not yet acquired a weapon to battle Ghostface, they're dead. The third die will tell players whether or not they should draw a card from the deck. The cards can help or hurt the player who drew them, place roadblocks in spaces that hinder player movement, but not the killer, or even move players around the board. They can bestow boons or deliver punishments, especially if you happen to be on one of the board spaces ominously labeled a kill zone. Woe betide those who heed not this warning. And he's a good harbinger. Along with the kill zones, there are other spaces which can make things worse for the players. If the Ghostface killer lands on an add a killer space, the active player takes the double-sided spinner and gives it a whirl. All 9 Ghostfaces are on the spinner with a possible yes or no result. If it's a no, everyone can just go on with their business. If it's a yes, however, a second and possibly even a third Ghostface killer will be added to the board. That's a triple threat. More killers to avoid, more killers to defeat. Oh, and look at all these ghost faces we have here. Look at the sack-headed scarecrow ghost face. Oh, man. Look at that. We got a green ghost face from Deadsville. What's that, like a chrome ghost face over there, maybe? We got the bronze, the devil, the blue, orange, pumpkin ghost face. Pretty cool. I mean, I'm not huge on board games, but I might play this. This doesn't sound like half bad. This could be some fun. Especially when you're snowed in. You can have a little fun with that. That's kind of cool. There's another twist in Ghostface the game. There's one space on the board where players can find out if they themselves are actually the killer. So it's like a whodunit too. If so, their win condition changes and they are now out to stab their friends. And this is our stabbing motion. Remember, folks, stabbing, not wanking. Wanking goes up, stabbing goes down. All right. Got to always reiterate that. Some people don't get the difference. They're all stabby and wanky at the same time, and they don't even know which way it's coming from. Other spaces allow players to gain a weapon, which you must have to take on Ghostface. Once acquired, a player needs to land on Ghostface's space and once again grab the spinner. This time they'll use the opposite side to determine if they successfully save their fellow players and all the other patrons at the drive-in, or if they just end up another hash marking Ghostface's growing body count. Players could find themselves out of the game if they have an unlucky spin, but with games lasting around 20 minutes, it won't be long before they can get back into the start of another round. That's not bad. A little 20-minute game. Ghostface the game is the culmination of a 4-game series based on popular and beloved horror movies. Designer Anthony Massey began the series just a few years ago with the Kickstarters for Silent Night, Deadly Night the game in 2022, followed by My Bloody Valentine the game the next year, and 2024's Halloween 2 the game. And there's a picture of Halloween 2 the game. Damn, that's a lot of cool shit. That comes with some cool shit. Your little playing pieces, you got your standees, you got, oh man, that's pretty cool. Not bad. Massey has a long-time love of the genre and has been immersed in these properties as the producer and director of a number of featurettes to accompany horror releases for Anchor Bay Entertainment, Starz, Lionsgate, FearNet, Miramax, Shout Factory, and others. It was during some work with the licensor of Silent Night, Deadly Night that the idea for a game hit him. I was helping the licensor create items with their Silent Night, Deadly Night brand on it, and the idea of a game popped up one day on the phone, along with over a dozen other ideas, Massey remembers. Over the next month, I designed a board game and had lunch with the guys to show them what I had in mind. They loved it, and we decided to kickstart it. And, yeah, there's the Silent Night, Deadly Night. You've got an Ira's Toys bag. Oh, you got some the metal pieces down there at the bottom. You got the characters on their standees. Oh, it's fucking cool. Very cool. All 4 games in the collection use the same basic mechanisms, with Ghostface's multiple killers and possible hidden traitor being unique to that game. If you learn one game, you know how to play them all. When the right holiday hits, you can just pull out the appropriate theme and you're good to go, no matter how much eggnog or gluing even you've already consumed. There are special drinking spaces on the game boards for a livelier session and opportunities to prove your knowledge of the movies with trivia add-on packs. Now that's fucking cool. Drinking spaces and trivia add-on packs. TJ checks in and says, I have Halloween 2 the game. Dude, you have this? That's awesome, TJ. Dude, you gotta bring one of these over some night. We're gonna have to fucking... That's fucking cool, man. Special drinking spaces on the game, livelier session, trivia packs, land on the right space, show off your misspent youth. If gameplay sounds simple, it is, and that's by design. I've always loved 70s and 80s style board games, says Massey. Some gamers want 3-hour games with lots of rules, but that's not what this 4-game miniseries is all about. They are meant to be taken out on key holidays and played quickly without having to relearn complicated rules. Open the box, put out the game pieces, select the character, start rolling the dice, and you're off and running. Play a few games back to back to see completely different results. Laugh, drink, fight a killer, then go about the rest of your holiday. And that's cool, man. I don't need Monopoly length fucking games. I don't know if I have ever in my life finished a game of Monopoly. But a quick 20-minute game, we get a couple of these in, man, that would be kind of fun. That could be kind of fun. All right. Well, there's our, and now we finally see, here's our Ghostface. What is this, man? Hex decks? Huh. Oh, it's a solitaire card game. Oh, this is an add-on to the Ghostface game. Okay. These are the add-ons. Fans of the films in question certainly won't be disappointed in the production. For all 4 games in the series, Massey teamed up with Fright Rags, whose work should be familiar to Fangoria readers. Working with Fright Rags has been an amazing experience. Illustration design of the game's top-notch. Yeah, so their art came from Fright Rags. Man, there's a ton of stuff going on with this. There's novelizations, all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to read all this. It's a lot, man. Wow. This dude's been on Shark Tank. And he 10 years ago, he created a children's game and auditioned for Shark Tank. He didn't get on the show. Okay. But, man, these are cool, to Stop the Killer games. I'm definitely curious. And that art looks awesome. So, TJ says, I'll bring it out. No one will play with me. No one around me will play it. Yeah, bring it out sometime, TJ. Next time you come get snowed in with us, we'll have to play it. We'll have to break it out and play it. That's cool, man. All right. Horror board games. What do you guys think? Especially it's got built-in drinking spaces and trivia add-ons. That's awesome, dude. Because it's like, yeah, if it's your favorite movie and you own it, man, nobody's beating TJ in Halloween trivia if he has that trivia add-on pack, right? He's definitely going to kick our asses in that. All right, pretty cool, man. Board games, horror movie board games. Oh man. All right, what else do we have on here? Let's get to our last story. We'll do this one last. This is one we started to do when the laptop crashed on me. So we can jump back over here and give this one a whirl. This one's on Joe Blow, the 10 most anticipated horror films of 2024. And Joe Blow's own Mike Holtz shares his list, which includes Terrifier 3 and Maxine. We happen to be lucky enough to live in a timeline where horror... And I started this before. It's my second time reading through it, so I gotta be a little silly. Sorry, guys. Horror is unquestionably crushing at the box office and otherwise. People are lining up in droves not only to see men in tights throwing down to save the universe in superhero flicks, but to see monsters and ghouls doing horrible and heinous things to human beings. And no, I'm not talking about Congress. I'm talking about some good old-fashioned wear your brown pants to the theater and leave the kids at home. Or don't, I don't judge. Horror flicks. I can't promise you everything is going to be okay in 2024, not with Ezra Miller roaming the streets, but I can promise you this, we've got a lot of great horror flicks headed our way. Probably. Well, they sound cool. Here are our top 10 most anticipated horror films of 2024, starting with the opening monologue of the 2024 Golden Globes. No, wait, that already happened. Starting with Alien Romulus. Oh, Alien Romulus is expected August 16th, 2024, and is to be directed by the same man who left us recoiled in absolute disgust, fear, and oh my, stop stabbing that person in the face with a needle so much I can't take it response with the 2013 Evil Dead remake, as well as with a lifelong fear of ripped old men with turkey blasters in Don't Breathe, Fede Alvarez. The film is allegedly to take place between the events of Alien and Aliens, but is to be its very own standalone story, unconnected to the rest of the franchise, mostly. Mostly. I see what you did there. A little newt quote. A little newt. Work a little newt in there. The only thing we really know about the story is it's set to feature young people from a distant world who come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. Harvey Weinstein. I'm just kidding. Man, this writer, who is this? Is this Cody? Is this Cody Hammond? Who wrote this? Yes, it's our friend Cody Hammond. Good writing, Cody. I'm sure it's a xenomorph for 12. I say this as someone who loved Prometheus and liked Covenant a whole lot, but with Fede Alvarez and his style of filmmaking behind the camera, this sure is sounding a whole hell of a lot like an Alien movie that's going to be focused far more on horror than the deeper themes of the previous films, and I expect that to be welcomed by Alien fans with arms wide open. Yes, give us more horror, aliens. I don't need philosophical blue guys. Yeah, I don't need all that. Give me scary. I want scary aliens. I don't need to know the fucking where we came from and all that kind of shit. I don't. Yeah, nah. I'm good. I want scary aliens, please. All right. And this isn't marketing. This was said to Fetty by Ridley Scott, who... Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I skipped a sentence there. It's been said that Ridley Scott himself saw the film and told Fede Alvarez it was, quote, fucking great. And this isn't marketing. This was said to Fede by Ridley Scott, who you and I both know would not lie about something like that. If he hated it, he would have throat punched him and kicked him into an empty hole in the earth. This is Sparta style in front of a live TV audience with zero fucks given. He wrote cares, but I like to say zero fucks given. I have high hopes for Alien Romulus this August. Yeah, Fede Alvarez doing an Alien movie. I really have high hopes too, man. Yeah, the 2013 remake of Evil Dead was fucking brutal. And yeah, man, I really am looking forward to this one. I know a lot of friends are looking forward to this. People who love the Alien franchise, people who love Fede's style. This is, yeah, man, this is going to be a good one. So fingers crossed. We see it on time, I guess, in August. So, all right. We're going to go to the next one. Next up, Return to Silent Hill. Currently in post-production with no solid release date yet, but expected this year. Return to Silent Hill features the return of the director of the first Silent Hill, Christoph Gans. Not to be confused with Garth Brooks' alter ego, Chris Gaines, whose album cover is still scarier than any Silent Hill movie will ever be. Whoo! Cody just taking shots. Here we got a shot from the first movie, I believe. Gans' first go at Silent Hill was hit or miss, but you can hardly deny he nailed the atmosphere and vibe of the games before it. It's definitely a great candidate for a film that should get a second chance at life, which won't come in the form of a remake, as Gans says the film is an adaptation of the video game Silent Hill 2 and will feature the character of James Sunderland, played by Jeremy Irvine, heading back to the town in search of his long-lost love and encountering all kinds of, real monsters in the meantime. Personally, I'm old enough to remember the smoking section at the Golden Corral buffet in the mid-90s, which was equally frightening and pretty much the same thing. In all seriousness, Gans was onto something in the original film, and if some of those kinks are ironed out, this one could be special. I agree. I really liked the original Silent Hill movies. The atmosphere was perfect. And that's a picture of it right there. We're looking at the grit was there. The character designs were on point with the game. It just had some pacing. I felt like pacing issues. And if I remember correctly, that was about it. I mean, I thought they were pretty good. So they didn't get the critical acclaim and the box office boom that I guess people hoped for a video game adaptation, but I like the fact that they're bringing the same guy back and giving him another chance. There'll probably be a bigger budget. The special effects technology these days is so much better than it was back then. CGI is so much better than it was back then. I just think they could do a lot more now, and still, same director still captures that atmosphere, that just the feel, the look, the grit of the whole thing, the aesthetic. That's the word I was looking for. It captures the aesthetic of it. So yeah, I dig that. I'm down with bringing Gans, the original Silent Hill director, back and letting him take a crack at Silent Hill 2. So very cool. Look forward to that one as well. All right. You know who else plans to be special in 2024? Maxine! Ty West's A24 trilogy capper releases sometime in 2024 and will feature Mia Goth's character, Maxine, heading to Hollywood after enduring the slicing, dicing, and elder lovemaking that was X. To tell you the truth, some nights when I can't sleep, I'm still haunted by that moment. Maxine boasts an insane cast that will be the latest addition to the horror film credits of the great Kevin Bacon. Cool, Kevin Bacon in Maxine. The film will be set in LA during the 1980s and will feature Maxine trying to make it as a star in Hollywood as the bodies pile up around her, unfolding itself to be a whodunit slasher. My scream senses are tingling too, but surprise, Sydney, Maxine is said to be more of an homage to the giallo subgenre instead. Either way, we're psyched to see all this sex and violence unfold in no what is that weird. And in no what... I don't know how that... I don't know how that last sentence just kind of... I don't know how that... All right, moving on. But yes, Maxine. I know a lot of people are looking forward to Maxine. The follow-up to X and Pearl. Pearl being the second movie. Well, the original, the timeline-wise first, but second movie made in the series. It's the prequel to X, and then this would be the sequel. So, yeah. Looking forward to it, despite the fact that, you know, we had that report that Mia Goth kicked an extra in the head during production. Still waiting to find out what happened with that. Not cool. I don't know if I can still support that. I guess we'll find out. All right. Moving on, the 2024 election ads won't be the only thing sucking out our will to live in 2024 as the Nosferatu remake drops its fangs upon our necks this year as well. Robert Eggers' latest effort is set to release this Christmas and feature a version of the titular character unlike any we've ever seen. The film stars Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok himself, whose makeup, according to The Witch and Lighthouse director, leaves him completely unrecognizable. Eggers says, "I'll say that Bill has so transformed, I'm fearful he might not get the credit that he deserves because he's not there." Which worked out really well for Patrick Bateman. Eggers continued to get us all jacked up by promising the film would be scary, saying, "It's a scary film, it's a horror movie, it's a gothic horror movie, and I do think that there hasn't been an old school gothic movie that's actually scary in a while. And I think that the majority of the audience will find this one to be the case." The film also stars Emma Corrin, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Willem Mother Effin Dafoe, who plays vampire hunter Professor Albin Eberhard von Franz. Jesus, could your name be any longer? With all this talent involved and the promise from Eggers be of true fear, Nosferatu easily places itself on our most anticipated of 2024 list. Whew, all right, well there you go. I didn't realize Nicholas Hoult was in this too. Man, is he playing Renfield? No, he can't be playing Renfield. That's Dracula. Even though Nosferatu is a ripoff of Dracula, maybe he's playing the ripoff of Renfield. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, there you go. And there's our picture of vampire hunter Professor Albin Eberhard von Franz, who is obviously a riff on Professor Abraham Van Helsing. So, all right, next up. This August, M. Night Shyamalan returns to the dinner table with Trap. Look, you say Shyamalan horror flick, and I'm handing over my ticket money. Yes, I'm aware that a Shyamalan film is no guarantee of perfection, cough the village, but that's why these films are such an event. The man always swings for the fences and tries to make something special regardless of the outcome, which is something that will have me in the theater seat every time. That's him, not me. I'm reading Cody Hammond's, don't get it twisted. I do not go to every one of his. In the case of Trap, most of the details are being kept secret, even though I went to school with M. Night Shyamalan. Still doesn't always do it for me. Sorry, brother. But and I've worked on one of his movies. So, let's see. Because we couldn't have it any other way. What we do know is that the film is a psychological thriller set during a concert. Oh, that's right. Trap is the first film of his first-look directorial agreement with the Warner Brothers and is said to be very different from his latest few films. The best part is that the movie will star the far too seldom seen acting talents of one Josh Hartnett, who many will notice from his fantastic performance in the recent Oppenheimer. But we all know him and love him as the kid selling drug pens in The Faculty, or H2O, maybe 40 Days and 40 Nights. He's been in tons of great roles, but it's always great to see him on the big screen. It's a big fat mystery what we're going to get with Trap in 2024. But isn't that the funnest part of a Shyamalan project? Well, I know a little bit more than what they've given here about this M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's been leaked, a little bit of it. So one of the things is that M. Night's daughter will be playing the pop star singing at the concert where everybody is trapped. So the whole concept of this one is that there's a big concert going on, there's this big pop star, and everybody is trapped in the building, and Josh Hartnett has got to die hard them out of there or some shit. So that's kind of what I gather from this one. But yes, M. Night's daughter will make her acting debut as the pop star in M's next movie, Trap. So yeah. Nepotism much? Well, at least he's not Rob Zombie in it and putting her in everything yet. But we'll see. This is only the first one. Seven Infection says, I tuned back in just in time. I love Josh Hartnett. Justin says, hello, Miss Infection. LOL. Okay. All right, caught up. Speaking of not knowing what we're going to get, Faces of Death allegedly started shooting in April of 2023, so you have to imagine we'll hopefully see it in 2024 as well, despite no release date being set. Faces of Death is indeed based off those VHS tapes we used to watch as teenagers that allegedly featured real footage of horrible murders, dismemberments, and various other activities. Most of these were staged or added onto and exaggerated, but by God, we believed it, and it scared the living bejesus out of us as unsupervised kids. The movie, however, is upfront with the fact that it is fiction and will feature a story about a video website moderator who comes across videos of some sick buckaroos recreating the murders from the original movie. The movie is directed by CAM director Daniel Goldhaber and will star Stranger Things favorite Dacre Montgomery and Euphoria's Barbie Ferreira. There's, of course, no way of knowing how this will turn out, but one has to imagine the possibility we could be looking at a frightening movie that uses disturbing footage style clips, something like what we saw in Scott Derrickson's Sinister to such great effect. All right, well, Faces of Death. Are you thinking what I'm thinking right now? Let's say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Lawnmower scene! Dear God, that still hurts my dreams. The power of the nostalgia and creepiness that was Faces of Death mixed with a good storyline could make for a great horror movie, and that's why we're so excited for this one. No promises though. I'd hate to get your hopes up and end up being tranquilized in a parking garage by someone wearing a pig mask. I've seen it 1,000 times. Well, 10 times and happy to see it an 11th. All right, so this is a concept where it's modern day and people are recreating the death scenes that we saw on Faces of Death for real. So people are reenacting, and yeah, somebody's got to stop them. So yeah, that's an interesting. It's an interesting concept to take that old movie, those old movies, and yeah, now you have to stop a serial killer who is reenacting all those deaths. Yeah, that's it. It's got a good concept. We'll see if the execution can live up to the concept. That's usually the problem. There's lots of great concepts out there, but the execution a lot of times tends to fall flat, right? Let's take a quick look at our chat board here, and Steph says, oh my God, I thought I was really watching murders. I think some of them were still real. I don't believe that all of that was not real. I know they had some staged ones, but there were some of those things. They weren't faking some of that shit, car hits and stuff like that. They had stuff from other countries that were on there. Yeah, they had some legit. I don't buy that all of it was staged. That's bullshit. Justin Seac says, Faces of Death was a high school high point. I'll check this out. Yeah, it was like a rite of passage in high school. You had to check out Faces of Death or else, you weren't cool. Like all your friends were like, oh man, you see it? That was like the fucking, that was lunch or like the fucking recess talk. That was recess and lunch talk. Oh man, did you see, that death? Oh God, to see the bunkie scene and the train hit scene. Yeah, there was It was like a rite of passage when I was growing up, at least. Steph Infection says, I like the concept, copycat killers. Yeah, again, the concept is good, and if they can pull it off, I think it would be pretty good. Steph also says, what was that weird site bomb something? Always had pictures and stuff. That I don't know. That I don't know. All right, jumping back to our news story here. And of course, we've got another Saw. Yes, I'm talking about Saw 11, people. Game over, not the baffling 11th entry in the Holy Guacamole That Stings. Holy Guacamole That Stings franchise will come out this September 27th, 2024. Barely a year after Saw X was met with such rave reviews. That is, unfortunately, all we know about the upcoming installment, other than the fact that the writers of Saw X, Pete Goldfinger and Josh Stolberg, will surprisingly not be returning for this one. With the quick turnaround and change in writers, one wonders if a script had already been prepared before or during Saw X. You have to imagine that the film will be another mid-quill that features Tobin Bell back as Jigsaw, considering the fact that his presence and performance were in large part responsible for both the box office and critical reception. Everyone knows Tobin Bell was the bomb in Saw X, yo! Considering the post-credits, and again, I'm just reading what's written here. I do not talk like that. Considering the post-credit sequence teased the return of Detective Hoffman, or as I like to call him, the dude with the huge yet exceedingly handsome face, a betting man would also wager we get some more of his story in Saw 11, as well as the return of Shawnee Smith as Amanda Young. Will that kid who really loves to kick the soccer ball at the wall at very inconvenient and inappropriate hours return as his apprentice? We'll have to find out on this year's version of Do You Want to Play a Little Game? Again. Yes. You guys probably know I don't do the Saw thing, so it doesn't really do much for me. But if you're a Saw fan, I'm sure you're looking forward to it. And everybody really liked the last Saw. So, although with new writers or different writers, you got to wonder if it's going to be as good. We'll see. You guys will see. I won't see because I'm not going to go see no Saw movie. But you guys who like that stuff, go see it. And you can let us know what you thought as Saw fans. All right, next up. Terrifier 3 will grace the big screen this year, just in time for Halloween season on October 25th. And we'll have Halloween on Christmas, as Art the Clown will be terrorizing folks on Christmas Eve in the town of Miles County. That's right, Terrifier 3, much like Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, is a Christmas film, and no one ever argues over it. The teaser trailer for the movie had some folks feeling rather rageful, as it hints at the idea of Art the Clown coming down the chimney and then possibly harming a little girl who mistakes him for Santa Claus. But there's no telling if that scene is even in the film or not, as it may have just been filmed for the advertisement. Either way, the film is sure to be a nice family event, a perfect pairing with the Buttercream Gang, and a nice fire. Perhaps some Chianti. In all seriousness, Terrifier 2 shocked audiences with not only its extreme gore, but its fun storytelling and surprisingly in-depth lore, not to mention the amazing performances from Lauren Rivera and David Howard Thornton. I can't wait to watch Terrifier 3 the same way I watch Part 2, in a packed movie theater, so that I can get extreme joy out of watching the shocked and appalled faces of the audience members around me. It's an absolute blasty blast. Count me among those who thought a 3-hour-long Art the Clown movie wouldn't work, but was absolutely proven wrong with Terrifier 2. Me too, because I was looking at that runtime like, dude, I can't sit through this. And then I did, and it went by quick. We can't wait to see what kind of absolutely degenerate and despicable behavior director Damien Leone and crew come up with next. You should be ashamed of yourselves, sickos. Keep it up. And there is the Art of Art, the Clown, for the Christmas episode, Christmas movie. And yes, I tend to think that the little girl in the teaser is a young Sienna. Isn't that what we've that's like the rumor on the internet now, right? Isn't that what we've kind of uncovered, or we've been talking about on the internet, that in that new teaser, the little girl who comes down and thinks that Art is Santa looks like she could be a young Sienna. Looks like she could be a young Lauren Rivera. So yeah, the blood on the wall and all that stuff. Art was here, and maybe he just killed her parents. And that could be why she has ties to him and left her. We don't know, but that's the speculation. That's kind of what I am thinking. We'll see. We'll see where it goes, Boo Believers. But I'm looking forward to Terrifier 3 myself. So, moving on. Is that it? Oh, yeah, we got some more. Yeah, we got a few more here. Oh, there's a picture of Maxine. Very 80s looking Mia Goth without eyebrows. And along with another 80s looking actress walking around walking around Hollywood. Very 80s looking Hollywood. These people in the back. Hare Krishna looks like? Yeah, that's a Hare Krishna. Look at that. Alright, hopefully you'll forgive me for having so many sequels on this list. Nothing gets me more excited than a great-looking original horror film, but you can only be excited for what you know, you know? And what I know is that one of the funnest of those aforementioned original horror movies was 2022's Smile, which makes us very excited for the next film on our list, Smile 2, releasing this October. The plot details for Smile 2 are kept smartly under wraps, but what we do know is that the director and writer of the first film, Parker Finn, will return in the same capacity. We also know that Naomi Scott, who played the Pink Ranger in the latest theatrical Power Rangers movie, will star. For my money, the best part of Smile was the way it mixed several horror movie tropes together, like the ones seen in It Follows or The Ring, but was able to do so in a creative and original way that had its own identity. Oh, and that mother effing teeth monster head thing, absolute metal. Practical horror effects for the win every single time and twice on Sunday, whether Chick-fil-A is open or not. And I agree. People ragged on Smile, but I really liked it. I liked Smile a lot. Now, there was a couple questionable character decisions, and you wonder a few things that are left hanging that never get fully fleshed out, but you don't need everything fully fleshed out, I feel like. And I thought Smile did a good job of weaving a good story. The only part I disagree with was towards the end when the guy kind of like, you're like, dude, why are you doing that? You know what happens. You know what's going to happen. Don't go there, man. Don't do it. Yeah, I dug Smile. I thought that was pretty good. I liked the marketing campaign with people at like baseball games just standing up in the middle of the crowd and just smiling eerily into the camera. That shit was fucking wild, man. That was cool. Yeah, that was. I look forward to Smile 2. We'll see where it goes. I don't know. Obviously, it's that crazy Smile teeth monster that's going to keep jumping from person to person. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I thought Smile was pretty underrated, and I think it caught, like, people didn't like it for some of the, I don't know, reasons that they give other movies a pass for. They liked some movies and then they didn't like other movies, and I'm like, dude, you gave that movie a pass and this one you're gonna... And anyway, some people just want to like certain things and not like others, I guess. Anyway, back to next one. Nicolas freaking Cage is on our list with Long Legs releasing sometime in 2024, and we've watched these couple of these trailers and they are fucking creepy. Or at least we assume, as the film has been completed and rated, or in case you were wondering, up top. Though we don't have a trailer or anything to go off of yet, the reason Longlegs managed to make the list is because if Nicolas Cage doing another horror project isn't exciting enough, his pairing with the Black Coat's daughter, director, and son of Anthony Perkins, Osgood Perkins, directing this project takes it over the top. Along, of course, with the addition of It Follows star Maika Monroe, who's creating quite a horror filmography for herself, I might add. Longlegs is about an FBI agent on the hunt for a serial killer who murders innocent families and has ties to the occult. But what's really fun about all this is that Maika Monroe plays the FBI agent and Rage Cage plays the serial killer, which you just know is going to be amazing whether he plays it reserved or completely unhinged. I think we all know what we're hoping for. I am hoping for full Cage, but if not, I know he's going to play it. He's going to be good. Fucking... Come on, man. Nicolas Cage is a serial killer. I am looking forward to Longlegs. And he's incorrect in saying that they don't have a trailer. They have those fucking teasers out with the fucking stills and the fucking 911 calls and everything. They're doing a really good job of marketing that one. Creepily marketing that one. And I'm here for it, man. I'm looking forward to Longlegs. That's going to be a fucking creepy one. And that's very cool that it's directed by Anthony Perkins' son, Osgood Perkins, Ozzy Perkins. Yeah, and Nicolas Cage. That's yes, definitely looking forward to it. All right. Well, if we don't get out of here soon, it's going to be 2025 already. So unfortunately, you must leave the list at 10. But I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention some of the other films we're looking forward to and what they include. Yeah, I'm surprised some of these didn't make the list because they would have made the list before these, for me at least. I'll jump back over here. Steph Infection checks in. Weird it's like art as the Grinch, and he just did the mean one. Les Price checking in. What's up, Les? Steph watching. Thank you, everybody, for checking in. We're almost ready to wrap up here, but we're going to go over these last few movies. A couple of these are like high up on my list. Here's what Cody Hammond and Joe Blow have as also honorable mentions. A Quiet Place Day One. I have no interest in that one whatsoever. Beetlejuice 2, which I can't fucking wait for. I'm so looking forward to. The Crow, I'm still reserving judgment on replacing Brandon and doing it with somebody else. Lisa Frankenstein, I am super looking forward to. We've already talked about, we watched the trailer. Looks awesome. It's written by Cody Diablo, who wrote Jennifer's Body. And I didn't realize this, but thanks to Dana Webb for pointing this out to me, Lisa Frankenstein is directed by Zelda Williams, who is the daughter of Robin Williams. So how fucking cool is that, man? Robin Williams' daughter teams up with the writer of fucking of Jennifer's Body, and they make this awesome fucking movie with the girl from Freaky. Dude, I can't wait. I am so looking forward to that one. That's one of my most look forward to movies of 2024, and I only have to wait a little bit longer for it to come out. Very cool. The Strangers Chapter 1, that looked pretty creepy. Late Night with the Devil, no idea. Monolith, no idea. The Wolfman, definitely looking forward to that one. The Untitled Universal Monster Project from Radio Silence. And shockingly, The First Omen. And shockingly, he left Ghostbusters Frozen Empire off this list. Where's Ghostbusters? Come on, who isn't looking forward to Ghostbusters? That's like one of our main ones that we're looking forward to here. How do you leave that one off the list of most looked forward to for 2024? I don't get it. Justin Seelig says, got to bounce, man. Birthday dinner with the kids tonight. Justin, have a great night, man, for your birthday. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks so much. Happy birthday. And go have fun, man. We'll see you soon. TJ checks in, says, I won't watch The Crow. I have no hope and no interest in it. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to get me interested in it after, Brandon and everything. It's going to be tough. One of the big draws for me for The Crow, I wasn't big into the Crow comic book, but Brandon was a real martial artist. He was the son of Bruce Lee. Like, he was a legit pedigree action star. He was like the next generation action hero. Legit. I don't feel Bill Skarsgård is that. No offense to him. He's a good actor, but does he know any martial arts? I don't know. And maybe the character doesn't need that, but I feel like Brandon set that fucking standard. So, yeah, I would have liked to have seen somebody who was more of a legit, real kind of martial arts trained action star in the role, maybe. Especially because Bill Skarsgård is playing everything now. He's in everything. I hate how Hollywood latches on to these one actors for 10 years at a time, and they just fucking work the shit out of them, and so you're just bombarded with the same actor in every fucking movie everywhere you turn for 5-10 years until they burn them out. So yeah, I'm kind of skeptical on Bill Skarsgård as the Crow too. He's also Nosferatu. I mean, let him be Nosferatu. That he seems like he's fit for. He's skinny, he's creepy looking, he played Pennywise, right? I just don't get... The Crow's an action movie, man. Give me an action star. Give me an action hero. Don't give me the dude, some skinny, scrawny dude. I mean, I guess that's kind of gothy, and the Crow in the comic books was skinny shit because he was a musician and all, but... yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptical. We'll see. We haven't seen any trailers or anything for it yet either, so I don't know. I don't know what to think of The Crow. But yeah, what are you guys looking forward to most in 2024? What's your most look forward to horror movie of 2024? Was it on this list or was it one that they missed? Let me know in the comments, Boo Believers. And yeah. We're over time here, man. We went really long today. That last story left us going for a while. So I am about to get out of here. And yeah, got work to do. More work to do here in the studio. TJ says Wolfman and Ghostbusters are his top 2 most look forward to movies of 2024. Yeah, they're definitely on my list as well. Definitely Wolfman, Ghostbusters, Lisa Frankenstein, what else? Terrifier 3. Yeah. Godzilla X Kong, of course. It's another one that he missed on his list. Man, come on. All right, well, that's going to do it, I guess, for the day, Boo Believers. Thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat profile, to do it all again and check tomorrow's headlines. Wasn't a whole lot today, but we went kind of long anyway, because we got a good list in there, and I did a little movie review, so maybe maybe tonight I'll check out part 2 of Horror in the High Desert, so I can give you the review tomorrow. But yeah, I definitely recommend Horror in the High Desert 1. Give it a watch on Screambox. It was quite interesting. It's a bit of a slow burn at the beginning, but it's set up real nice, and then the payoff at the end was pretty creepy. Kind of had a feeling what was coming towards the end, but yeah, I respect the independent filmmaking aspect of it, and them getting to do that, and taking that one and kind of, because I know they made waves at some festivals and stuff with this thing. That's why it made it to Screambox. Taking some buzz from this really low budget original movie, super low budget, and then taking that, parlaying it into a sequel, and yeah, we'll see how the sequel turns out. So I will do another spoiler-free review on the sequel soon, Boo Believers. Definitely this week, either tomorrow or Friday. So got a couple days left. That's gonna do it, though. Make sure you follow, like, share, all that good stuff. Keep up with all the Deadsville content. Just announced some more shows coming to Bar 13. I stay busy. I'm still, booking and getting all our shows out there. Hopefully I'll have everything set up by the end of January and won't have to deal with much live booking after January. A whole year will be set. And all of our Hellaware punk nights and punk parties will be in the books, ready to go, and I will totally be focused on getting this content out to you guys. All right, Boo Believers, I'm going to get going. I will see you all tomorrow. In the meantime, stay spooky.